Masters Learning Center at ivmasters.com, and today we're going to look at Test 2, Section 3, Number 10, which reads, which of the following equations has a graph in the xy plane for which y is always greater than or equal to negative 1? So when we go to the answer choices, what we notice is that we've got absolute values, and we've also got squared values. What's the smallest output for an absolute value? It's 0, because as soon as you go to negative, you take the absolute value of the negative and it becomes positive. So for example, if you've got absolute value negative 1, it becomes positive 1. But the absolute value of 0 is 0, you can't get smaller than that. Same thing with squared values. If you've got x squared, if it's 0, 0 squared is 0. If it's negative 1, negative 1 squared, and negative times itself, and negative times negative is a positive, you get positive 1. So you want to take that knowledge with you to the answer choices. If we're evaluating answer choice A, what we notice is smallest output to absolute value is 0. Absolute value of x could be as small as 0. 0 minus 2 is going to be negative 2. Negative 2 is not always greater than or equal to negative 1. A is gone. Answer choice B. We've got the same thing. 0 squared is 0. Absolute value, and if we square the 0, we get 0. And then 0 minus 2 is negative 2. So smallest value there is negative 2. That's not always greater than or equal to negative 1. Answer choice C, we've got the quantity. Still, the smallest result of the quantity squared is going to be 0. So if we throw a 2 in there, for example, 2 minus 2 is 0, 0 squared is 0. 0, or anything greater, is always greater than or equal to negative 1. So it looks like C is going to be our answer. And I wonder, is this question flawed, or was it intentionally given by the SAT, the College Board, in order to throw students for a little bit of a loop? Because if it's saying that y is always greater than or equal to negative 1, I would expect there to be a minus 1 outside that parentheses, something like that, because it's actually greater than or equal to 0. So they're either throwing the students for a loop here, or the question's a little bit flawed. But still, C is your definite answer, because answer choice D, what's the smallest value there? If you throw a negative in to x cubed, now when you cube a number, it's multiplying a negative by itself 3 times. So you could be infinitely negative there. For example, if I throw a negative 10 in there, negative 10 cubed is negative 1,000 minus 2, negative 1,002. It just keeps getting smaller and smaller the more negative and negative you go. Correct answer here is C. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You could share it with someone who has trouble with absolute values or squared, or does not know that rule that the smallest result for an absolute value or squared value is 0. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments side if you're happy to shoot a video on it. Click subscribe so you don't miss anything, and check out our 1-minute video on TikTok. Have a great day.